This is Corolla Digital.
Hello, my little Lucky Charms. It's me, Alison. Before the show officially starts, a few words. One is that Gary and I just had a really long, somewhat confusing conversation about potatoes. Because he didn't know what a new potato was, and he said, is that just like a potato that's new? And then I scoffed at him, and I said, no. And I said, it's a small potato, and I looked it up, and it turns out a new potato is... This is Carbohydrate Talk with Allison and Gary. It turns out a new potato is a young potato. So I'm sorry, Gary.
You're forgiven.
And then he told me about how much he loves twice-baked potatoes. You guys really had to be there.
No, they didn't.
Well, now, unfortunately, they probably feel like they were.
Yeah.
But that's just what happens. Anyway, you guys, this here right here that you're about to listen to is part 2 of the special 2-part episode with Dave Attell. I think you'll love it. I hope you will, because I love you guys. And also, I want to tell you guys about GoToMeeting. It is hard to drag your buns into the office to have a meeting face-to-face with people, especially during the holidays, because you could be wassailing, you could be caroling, you could be standing on a ladder putting a star on top of your Christmas tree. You could be tangled in tinsel. And have you really taken time to notice that people don't put tinsel on trees that much anymore? And why is that? Because I like tinsel. I like saying tinsel. I know it's messy, and I know that probably if an animal were to swallow it, that would be bad. You could be, you know what else you could be doing? You could be dealing with some kind of poinsettia related accident, because it's bad for animals to eat poinsettia. But the point is, there's a lot, your plate is full. It is full.
It's ironic, given the content of this episode and perhaps the previous portion, that all of your focus is on Christmas.
Yeah, it's true. I love Christmas.
Yeah. No love for the Hanukkah, which you and Dave discuss.
Well, I never celebrated Hanukkah.
It's true.
I know.
But some of your listeners might. So what if you're lighting the menorah? You can still use GoToMeeting from there.
You're right. I don't mean to alienate them. You know what,
We're
Gary?
inclusive here.
I am looking at your face right now. We are face to face. It's almost as good as if we were talking on GoToMeeting with HD Faces from Citrix, which we've done before. So this is a way that you can meet on your computer. You could also host the meeting from your iPad. You can host it from the iPad and participate. And it's just a really convenient, easy way to collaborate with your coworkers and have the meeting that you need to have from wherever you are. And you can give someone else control of your screen. You can collaborate on documents. Whatever you need to do that you would be doing in person, you can just do it with GoToMeeting from HD Faces by Citrix. So thank them for making your life so much simpler. Try GoToMeeting free for 30 days. Don't wait for this special offer. Visit GoToMeeting.com, click on the Try It Free button, and use the promo code Allison. Be sure to use the promo code Allison. GoToMeeting. Meeting is believing. All right, so here's the episode, you guys. Did I already say? I already said please love it. It's like I'm needy right now or something. I don't know what it is. I think it's the holidays. Here's the episode.
Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison, with her good times never end. Alison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Alison's your new best friend.
Oh, that actually brings me to why I think that I was intimidated by you, although I'm not anymore.
Yeah, I think we've bonded
Yeah,
to some degree.
I feel we have.
Okay.
But I was trying to figure it out earlier. I was thinking, why am I a little intimidated by Dave Attell?
Yeah,
and I
why?
was thinking, because I have moments of being kind of airheaded and a little bit stupid, even though... you're sniffing a marker.
Yeah, I know. I need a cigarette, so go ahead.
Okay.
You're being
yeah, even
stifled?
though I think I'm sort of a smart person in general, and you just seem like someone who doesn't suffer fools.
I would say that I really love smart people. So, like, I feel like I'm stupid, and then every time, like, I meet somebody who's smart, I dig that. So I got that vibe from you immediately that you're smart, and like being. Like I love history and like things like that, and like I watch the History Channel, not just for the sniper stuff, dude. Every other show is like Ultimate Sniper. You know, I was like, no wonder there's all these shootings. They're giving away all the best.
Extreme history.
Exactly, but I love what we're talking about, like Abe Lincoln, like that movie. I can't wait to see that movie. I think it's excellent. I don't care if he really didn't fight vampires. I think he's interesting just being president, and I feel like you're the kind of person that can roll on a lot of different topics. Like you're into current stuff, and also like what was your major at college? Where'd you go to school again?
I went to Pomona College.
What?
In Claremont, California.
Where's that?
It's in Claremont, California.
Okay.
It's like an hour from here.
Okay.
And it's a good school. It's private, a small private college.
All girl?
No.
See, now that's the theme of many a porn. An all-girl school with a sorority spank fest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorority Pink, I'll give that 3 loads. That's my rating system.
Right.
I give it 3 loads. Sorority Pink, excellent. I don't even know what to tell you. There's so many great people in that movie. It really is the facts of life of porno.
God,
so
I
you
better
should check
check
it
it out.
Sorority 1 and 2, excellent. Okay.
Can you watch a good porn over and over again?
I do. Well, you know what? Sometimes as a dude, you fall in love with the porn star that you're watching. Like Seika, who was on my show and is a great, great friend of Dave's All Porn. Seika. She's also done radio. She's done a million things. She's writing a book. I can't wait to read that book. That's going to be very interesting. Lot of words or whatnot. I'm reading it.
I'll read. I can do a lot of words.
Okay. Now,
Just
Seika,
not if it's in a shitty book.
Seika, so hot. Like, she was on the show and she was really cool with Jim Norton, okay, who also knows porn really well.
Oh, yeah.
And, I must have, cranked it out to her, a trillion times. And then to finally meet her, it was great. And another one, Christy Ken, Ginger Lynn, super hot. Serena, who's not on this season, you should check her out. Serena.
Okay.
This redheaded beauty from the 70s, just a wild child of the 60s. So hot, man. No shaving, not even pits back then.
Wow.
But she was so hot. She could get away with it.
So, Dave Attell, we have a segment on my show
Yeah?
called Just Me or Everyone, but I know that you are jonesing for a cigarette because you're
What should we
sniffing
do?
a marker, and I know that you are pressed for time. So you tell me whether... Okay, the options are we could take a break, come back to the segment. We could just do it now. We could do neither of them and end the show if you need to leave right this minute.
I'm having such a good time. I'll stay here as long as you want me to. How's
Thank
that?
you. Oh,
How's
my
that?
God. That's
And I
great.
don't want to, bore the listeners and the fans and stuff like that. So I hope that you guys are rolling with this and having as much fun as I was. So yes.
They will be.
But let's take a break. I'll smoke
Okay.
a cigarette, right?
Perfect, yes.
You can try and get in a better guest. Give you a chance.
Yeah.
I come in, Ed Begley sitting here. Now, about those electric cars. You were right, Ed.
Yeah, he's on the short list. Okay, cool. We'll be back in a moment.
Where were we?
Ooh, that's good.
Isn't that great?
You have host material.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you are a host.
Where were we? That would be the name of my in-depth AFC show.
AFC.
Yeah, for the American Bowlers or something. American Farmers of America.
Club.
Yeah, where were we?
Right, that's good.
You like that?
Yeah, it's very like Alec, because Alec Baldwin has "Here's the Thing."
Oh, see, already. See,
No, but
that's
it's different.
The problem. There's
Yours
no
would be
new
different.
ideas. No, I'm not doing it. Go ahead.
Why don't you have a podcast?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, first of all, I hate talking about myself, as we both learned. I don't like it.
I know.
And, I don't know how you guys do it, man. That's a lot of talk.
Yes. Why do you hate talking about yourself? Because I have noticed that you've turned most things around. And
Yeah, I
then
don't really like to
just
talk
let
about
you.
myself, and I don't really like to get into, I do a lot of stand-up, so I feel like Twitter, I don't really do that. I like to perform, and then I feel like I've already, the people have enough, they got enough of me, and then I don't, but I guess in today's world, it's a 24-hour performance.
There's no such thing as
Yeah, so,
But
I
do
guess maybe I'm, just an antique.
Do you feel like if you were to let people behind the curtain more, that it would change the way they view your comedy?
No, people hate my comedy. No, I can't hate it more. No, I just feel like it's either like you're, balls in on it, which is what you guys are with the podcast.
Yeah.
Like you do it and you do it right, or you do it like you don't do it. And I don't think I would be balls in on it. Like if you do it, you gotta be good to the fans and good to the listeners, and service them, and make sure that there's a show every week, and you have interesting guests, and you do all that kind of stuff. Although this was a wash. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
This was like
Ed
a wow.
Begley Jr. was
Yeah.
unavailable.
There's going to be some retooling, as they say, after this one. That's when the sitcom is bad. We're
We're going to
retooling it.
punch this up.
We're
gonna
gonna
have someone come
wow.
in and redo
What were
your
we
parts.
thinking? Somebody fire somebody, because that was wow.
So what you're saying is comedy, stand-up comedy, is really the last vestige for the misanthrope.
I don't think so anymore. I feel like there's a lot of pretty well, this, first of all, the whole idea of like the self-destructive comic, and I knew and am one of them. I would say that those days are over. It's more the, maybe there's a couple of potheads out there, a few cutters. But other than that, I'd say that they're pretty much, normal people. And you don't have to be wild to be funny. I know that. But all my buddies who, the Mitch Hedbergs and the, Greg Giraldos and Jerry Red Wilson, who, he's been gone so long, it's sad because, like, he, before the internet really kicked out, he was already passed away. And, he was like a friend and a great comic, and he had the sitcom, and he was engaged. And then meningitis died. And it was a sudden thing. It was a sad thing. And I always think about him when I'm on the road sometimes about how, like, wow, it would be really cool to see him in today's times, because he never knew, like, these things, the Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So, what he would say, because he was like a really fun-loving Irish guy, really, like, everybody loved him, great guy. So, I've seen a lot of those guys, and I know the people that we were talking about, like Marin, and, all these people, like, now are, like, coming in their own or famous. And I would just say that, like, I'm kind of like a club comic, and I'm proud of it. I like it, and that's what I do. And I'm not really into, like, building this franchise or brand or anything, which is, like, kind of the, kids,
It's the
you
thing
got to raise
today.
your kid to, what's your brand, basically,
Right. It sounds like, have you lost a lot of people?
People die. I mean, yeah, I've a lot of people. Yeah, I know a lot of comics, and also just personally, just a lot of people just died.
Yeah.
And being on the road all the time, it's kind of you're always like thinking like where you left is going to be the same, and it's not. And it's sad. Like my own father, when he died.
How did he die?
How did he die? He heart attack, diabetes, all that kind of stuff. He smoked. He drank to some degree, but he was mostly a food guy. And that's, for those of you out there that are foodies, you really should watch your cholesterol. And the sad thing about that one was that I was on the road when that happened, and I had to fly back like 3 planes to get back to see, for the, for them to unplug him. And that was still like a traumatic thing for me years later, that like I had to, fly all that way, and it was just sadness at the end. It was it was not like, because in my mind I was thinking he's going to pull out of it, it's going to be good. And this before cell phones, or like just the beginning of them. So I would call up, whenever we landed, and go like, how's he doing? They're like, we don't know. They're saying it's not looking good. When are you going to be here? So, but at least, to look on the bright side, I was there, and I got to say goodbye to him. So.
Did you have a good relationship with him?
Yeah, now that I look back on it, I think we were horrible children, and they were great parents. Yeah, no, I really dug my dad, and I really am proud of what he accomplished in his life. And towards the end of his life, even though he went bankrupt and lost his house and all that kind of stuff, I still think he had balls of steel, and for a guy, self-made guy, that's the only way to roll, and that he really did not he didn't let anything stop him. The only thing that really stopped him was his health. And, my brothers and my sister, who I'm all proud of, I have 2 brothers and a sister.
Older or younger?
I'm the middle of the older group. I'm proud of all of them, but I would say that my dad is like a unique character. Maybe my younger brother, who's also kind of an entrepreneurial type dude, is the one that is most like him. I'm most like him in terms of bad habits, but in terms of like knowing what he wants to do and being a leader, we were talking about that, my younger brother. So
How old were you when your dad died?
40. No, I was 34 when he died. And then when there's never a good time for that, but I was lucky that I got to have a father for that long, because there's people who lose parents, when they're 6.
Yeah.
So that's horrible. I can only imagine what they go through.
I feel
What a downer, huh?
fantastically unprepared for my parents dying.
Well, how old are they now?
My dad is 79. And
Wow.
Yeah, he has kids from his first marriage, so I'm his.
Do you get
second.
along with those kids?
Yeah, I do.
Are they cool or what?
They're twins, actually.
What? Mm-hmm. What a
You
theme.
mentioned twins, boys. Yeah.
Are they Jews or no? Maybe they're the Jewier people.
Their mother is not.
What is up with your dad?
See.
He really likes the shiksa meat. as they
Well,
call it.
except that my mom is, so they call it shiksa meat.
No, I just
They
trying
probably
to throw
do.
some Jew at you to see
Thank
if
you.
he'll bite.
Yeah, thank
But,
you. Yeah, so
So they're older than you.
Well, and then my mom is 62.
Okay, she's a few years older than me.
Yeah.
So that's wild. So they were like 70, like in the cool times, like like all those my parents were cool sites.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does he have like a cool mustache? He's playing a guitar. Your dad? Like
No,
is he
but
kind of
he's
that
got
guy?
no, but he does have some pretty awful lounge. I don't know what they're called. Leisure suits, maybe. I don't know if it's a leisure suit, but just things that button down to the navel, pretty much, just like disco clothes almost.
Oh, that's cool. Well, he was a party guy.
Well, he dressed like one. I don't think he was.
He's 79, so he was
Yeah.
in the Korean War then.
Yeah, he lived through it. He wasn't in it, but
Okay,
he was
because he's Korean.
because he's Korean. He just calls it the war.
The war, exactly.
Yeah.
They call it "Look at Me."
Right. Exactly. So anyway, so yeah, I don't know if you ever get to a point where you think, yeah, I could say goodbye to them now.
Don't.
But you don't?
No.
Or you're saying don't.
No, yeah, I don't think you're ever prepared to lose a parent, but now when you get older and you realize how it flip flops, like where you have to take care of them,
Yeah.
then it's like, hey, what's going on? With No, it's a joy, and it's of course a sadness when you realize how important they are to you and how much you miss them. But
Right.
I always travel with a picture of my dad, so I feel like he's on the road with me.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
That's sweet.
okay? I was going to say it was gay. But
No,
that's cool, right?
I think that's sweet.
Okay, good.
But the thing about losing someone young is that at least the death of is as unfair and as painful as the death of an older person is. The death of someone young, when it's like this person should not be gone, that just feels like the whole I feel
It's
like
God's plan.
yeah.
It's an evil plan. It's never a good plan.
It's an evil genius. See, it's because I just feel like something wrong, like something fundamentally fucking wrong just happened.
Yeah, well, it's sad, and then you're like, why did that have to happen? What does that serve? This super hole in your heart. You're like, what
Yeah.
am I going to do? And then you realize that, there's so many people, like, your sadness is just a reflection of so much other sadness in the world.
Yeah,
It's
like you're just I've had that moment of realizing like I am fucking leveled by the pain that I'm going through, and yet this is just a blip in the world of pain, and like almost
Exactly.
how dare I indulge? Not that you have any choice. Well, also, and then you go numb pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, numb, but also like awfully miserable. But it's like a wound that won't heal. But that realization that compared to the horrors that are going on right now elsewhere, this is like nothing.
It's hard to look at it that way, but that's really what it is. It's like,
Yeah.
I think as Americans, like, we don't grieve well because we've been taught that there's always
Shouldn't
a way to
have to be
win.
sad.
Yeah, like there's like something you can buy or a pill or, a class, and that'll help you. And then when something really, really, really sad happens, we're kind of left, even the people that go for the books. Were you a self-help reader? Like you would read these books?
I did, yeah. I went through a phase of reading. They messed with my head.
Yeah, okay. So all those books, and then going to the psychiatrist. Everybody did that, where they went to like one guy. And
Did
they
you?
Would, yeah. Here's my whole thing with the psychiatry thing, which is like every other person, like unless the guy went through the Holocaust or something like that, I really don't get why they're doing this. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like they feed off of everyone else's sadness. Like what are they, like catfish of sadness? Or
Sadness, succubus.
and then I would like talk to them, some of these people, and they always secretly wish they were like a screenwriter or an actor, and they had like this other dream,
Mm-hmm.
but they went to school and like, learned like how to make, whatever.
They
like,
always listened well.
yeah, like they were really like their parents like told them to be something like lawyers or something,
Right.
and they followed that. And I was like, well, I don't respect that. I mean, I could see
You
if
don't
it was
respect someone who didn't follow their dream?
no, well, yeah. I mean, but I don't respect them like thinking like, here they are like handling people's problems when they themselves like have this big problem of being ballless, taking the safe road of like, this is a job and I'm going to get money and all that kind of stuff. Because in comedy, when you first start out, I never thought I was going to be even at this level. And I'm not even like, I'm not even that great a comic, and I'm definitely not famous. But I would say that like, I am like, stoked that I fucking, made it to like where I can pay my bills doing it. And, these guys, like, they go to school and they go to grad school. They got that big student loan. I give them that. Okay. But then they, it's like, they're going to get some kind of psychiatry job. I mean, there's so many, messed up people. But, there's no psychiatry in the third world. I mean, basically, unless they drop it out of a helicopter on them. There's nothing there.
Therapy bombs.
A helicopter is their psychiatry. They're like, oh, yeah, that's good.
But don't you think someone who can't take their own advice still could help you by pointing stuff out?
No,
you don't
I
really
don't. I believe in like like role model, like Neil Armstrong, who you probably don't even know who he is.
No, I do.
How's that possible? You're so young.
He's part of my favorite joke.
Oh, what's your favorite joke?
Well, I'm realizing saying that to a comedian that I respect.
Well, I love jokes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What's the difference between Neil Armstrong and Michael Jackson?
What?
Well, Neil Armstrong was the first man to walk on the moon. Michael Jackson fucks little boys.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, it was better when he
Straight
was
ahead.
still alive.
You're right. Now that both parties are gone, that's a little inappropriate.
Yeah, or you could say has sex with children.
Wow.
I don't know
We'll
whether
be
fucks
right
little boys.
back.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Right.
I had to use the stern right back on that one. But Neil Armstrong probably, if he wanted to, would have ruled, show business and, boatloads of pussy. But he was like a really straight up dude, conservative guy, taught like, I guess, astrophysics at some university, family man. So I think that's cool that he was like, didn't need to be famous, even though he was famous. So I think I respect that. I'm from a different generation where like, he could have been famous because he did something really famousical.
That's like my favorite frozen treat.
Yeah, a famousical.
Yeah.
And but he decided not to do it.
Right.
So, I think that's cool. That's man. He's a man,
So you think it's sort of ladyish to be pursuing the adoration and the validation of people glomming onto you?
I'm not going to throw that on ladies. I'm just going to throw it on like it's pretty shallow, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think sometimes people always go like, it must be cool to get recognized. And I'm like, well, I pretty much don't, you know. I mean, like I used to be like a nameless drunk, and that was like the better time. And now like I'm in an airport, been up all night, going to like, catch a flight. And some guy goes, hey man, you're that guy. And I'm like, hey dude, what's up? Thank you and all that kind of stuff. And it's different when they bring up like, I really like your show or whatever. And anybody who recognizes you at an airport had no idea you were in that town. And you just spent like 2 days on radio promoting your gig. And you're like, wow, do I have a disconnect here? Maybe that's where the tweet would have worked, it says my manager. But either way, I would say no. I think it's cool to be like just a regular person, but I know nowadays that's like nobody wants to be regular.
Well, I think the thought is that if you're something other than regular, then you won't feel all the bad things that come with being alive. And unfortunately, there's no way out of feeling those things. Maybe drugs, but not really. I mean, I think that's why people want those things.
Yes.
But the truth is that no matter what level of fame you have, I believe, no matter what level of fame.
You're famous.
Well, but I'm not.
But you are.
But I'm not.
But you are.
But I am
just trying to kill
enough.
time.
Oh, good.
No, go ahead.
Well, but I've had a taste of it enough to know that the idea that I will achieve something and then everything will feel good, like that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, I think you can have satisfaction from your work, but but it's not going to be like if I could get to that Justin Bieber level of people knowing who I am, like that's not going to feel. It's just going to feel more like this.
Yeah, and he's like, well, how old is he?
18.
Wow, see, I know he really puts the rest of us to shame. He's
I know.
this famous at 18.
I know.
But do you have it where you go out and like people hear you talking, they're like, hey, that's that girl.
Sometimes, yeah.
Wow. So do you change your voice? Like, what's your other voice when you go out? What do you do?
I've never thought of disguising my voice.
Well, let's do it now. Okay. I'll be a waiter.
Okay.
You can pick gay or straight. I'll be a waiter.
Oh, I can pick what I want you to be a gay waiter.
Okay. Hey, miss. See, it's the same voice because they're people, all right? So I can't do characters.
I walked right into that one.
No. Yeah, really. I thought after the Neil Armstrong
Yeah.
thing you were ready to rock, but I guess not. Anyway, you have to do a different voice because I'll recognize your voice because from your shows.
Right,
okay?
right,
I mean,
okay.
you're a celebrity radio host.
That's right.
So you have to
Thank
do,
you.
and I bet you a lot of other radio hosts have to go through this, like Imus and other people, so they probably have like a fake voice.
I've got to get a fake voice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're
Okay.
gonna do it right now.
All right. I wonder how long I could talk like this. Like, hi.
That seems like you're faking it. I'm gonna say accent. So now,
Hi.
that's not bad.
That's the only accent I can
Miss,
really
can
do.
I? What would you like? Here's the menu. What would you like to have? Not your real voice. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi. I would like a salad.
No, that sounds
See, I can't.
a little Tyler Perry. It's not that good. It sounds like you're a tranny, basically.
Well, that is disguising myself. Gary
He's
liked that
Gary's
one.
like, finally, I got to laugh here.
Yeah.
How about this? Try like a little nervous stutter in the voice, nervousness, because they know you as a confident, secure woman.
Oh, okay.
So, okay.
Okay.
Miss, here's the specials today are Cobb salad and blah blah blah. What would you like, Miss?
What's in the Cobb salad?
I love it.
It would take me so long to order.
That's great. First of all, a hot chick with a stutter. Wow, that's excellent. Talk about approachable. There you go.
All right, let's do some just me. Oh no, go ahead.
No, let's do your thing, man.
Just
I
me
know
or
you got
everyone.
some segments coming up.
Yes, this is where people tell us things they think or do, where they wonder is it just me or everyone, and then we say whether it is just them
Okay.
or if it's everyone.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
All right, Tony DeCoste says, I have to pee so bad right now, I'm breathing like I just sprinted a half mile. Does this happen to anybody else?
Well, that's him because I don't jog. I don't know what. No.
But do you breathe heavily when you really have to pee?
Ooh, now I see what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I would say no. I think that's
don't.
just him.
I think
I really do, but I
feel
don't
like
mean it as an insult.
Yeah, no,
I think it makes
no.
him special and everything.
no one will take it as such.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because sometimes it is just them. But I think I've definitely had that, like, maybe I really, really needed to pee and it was making me breathe weird. But it's not a regular occurrence.
Well, you know what? Not to like expound on this guy's incredible, cool
Please.
idea there, but I always have that thing where, like, you know, back in New York days, where you have like multiple locks on your door, and
Yes.
you really have to take a leak, and it's like, oh,
Yes.
One
time I called.
I wish I lived in
live
a
with my
teepee.
sister, and I called her to tell her, please unlock, get it
Yes.
ready, and
Oh,
don't
girls
you have
go
a
through that
toilet?
too.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
I had
know
to make
that.
sure that she wasn't in the bathroom. I was like, could you? I need a police escort.
And like it turns out you're like pissing already, and you're like, oh, look at me, I'm doing something
Like,
really.
God, I better not sneeze.
It's like I'm doing something really adult, but I'm also like a baby. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I had to do that with my hand because I'm a really bad comic.
Yeah.
I was like unlocking fake doors. So.
No, I liked it.
Yeah, you got it. Okay.
It's interesting how people can speak so openly about needing to pee, but now people do talk about shit on this podcast.
What?
But for the most part, people in polite company, you'd be like, hang on, I need to pee. But you wouldn't be like, man, I got to snap off a big one, you know?
Yeah, deuce. Yeah, drop a deuce, as we call it. Well, you know, it was a long time before I realized that women do actually poop. And,
Yeah,
like I think
unfortunately.
in guys' minds, they never see that, you know, in their dreams.
Right.
About them. And, you know, not to bring it back to porn, but there's a whole scatology, scatalicious porn.
Is
filthy-
that truly out of Germany, like I hear?
Yeah, I'm sick of Germany taking the heat for everything bad that's ever happened. The Holocaust,
Right.
of course, shitting you. Well, yeah, they do like it, though, for some reason. I don't know what it is. But the Mexican chili dog, you know what that is, right?
No.
That's when a guy takes a dump on your chest and tit fucks you.
Oh, wow.
A rarity, not
Yeah.
a first date. And
Now, see, I thought...
you have great game face. Go
Thank
ahead.
you. Well, I was just thinking...
You'd be a really good mom. Like, what did he do? What did he do? He shat on her chest and tit fucked her? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, see, there's the hot Carl and the Cleveland steamer.
The hot Carl, always good.
What is? Aren't those
Wow.
shit on a chest?
There's shitting involved, but there's like different. It really depends what time zone, like what side of the Mississippi you're on.
Oh,
when
is
you
this
say
is
it.
this like Edie's and dryers?
Something
Or
like that.
Hellman's and Best Foods.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Broseph Coast. I am always prepared for a robbery to break out whenever I'm waiting in line at the bank. It's been a long time since I've been in line at a bank, and I
Yeah.
don't normally think about robberies breaking out, but now I will.
I always think, because I look like one of those bank robbers, that like
Yeah.
any minute I'm going to be tackled at a bank. So I have the opposite of this guy's
Right.
thing. But I'd say a lot of people feel that something
Dire
horrible
is
is going to
gonna
happen at a
happen.
bank. You know, like the bank's going to go under as they're about to get their money out.
Yes.
You know? Remember
well,
that?
that's a real fear.
That is the actual, yeah.
Yeah.
So, dude, yeah,
All right.
we're with you on that one.
Kentucky Black says, I eat with my teaspoons because the soup spoon seems too big. I use soup spoons to scoop side dishes. Interesting. I can relate to that, although I don't do that.
No, you're not really reading what's happening here.
I'm not?
Spoons. This guy's in jail. He's locked up. They don't let him use forks and knives. It's the spoon guy. Everything's
This is
with
like
the
my
spoon.
one black fan. You're really going to say he's
Oh,
in
dude.
jail?
All right. Well, maybe he's
He's also waiting.
work release. But I would say Kentucky. What's his name again?
Black. Kentucky Black.
That's a cool name.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
His
Cool
real name is Derek.
Oh, neat. Another great name. Mm-hmm. Great name for a black guy. For a white guy, always a douchebag. Derek showing
Yeah.
up. I hope he's black. If he's
Yeah.
a white guy,
Yeah.
right?
Same with Daryl.
I'll give you that one too. Although Daryl Hammond, a really good guy.
Yeah.
I know him.
Yeah, he's the
Comic.
exception.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Chad? I said something about Chad last night, and Chad's kind of, it's like Todd.
Yeah, but Chad is like really the abbreviation of a shitty name.
Chadwick.
Chadwick.
No name needs Wick in it.
Yeah, what is that? What was that? Of the Chadwicks? Oh, I get it.
Right.
And Todd, of course, that's a hard name to roll with. Although, you know, we all Todd Barry, I know him. He's
Oh,
a great
yeah.
comic.
He's very un-Todd.
He's an untodd.
I mean, doesn't it seem like his name shouldn't be Todd? When you
do you
think
think
about
his name
it.
should really be Barry? Because that's his middle name, his last name.
That
Barry.
would work. I could believe his name was Barry.
Really?
Barry Todd.
Barry Todd. Now that sounds old Englishy kind of. Barry
Kinda does.
Todd, the worst
does.
barber ever in East London. I can do some characters if you'd like.
Yeah. Oh, let's hear it.
Well there, miss. I always do like the English workhouse guy. Mm-hmm. Well there, miss. You've been very naughty. So I put that in there.
Yeah, all your characters are going to be straight out of porn, aren't they?
No, I can't do any of those guys.
Okay.
But that was my like Sweeney Todd kind of guy.
That was good.
That's good. And then I do the fisherman, you know. Man, the batten down. I used to do this joke. Batten down the butt plugs. It's going to be, you know, I pointed it up. So, it's the same voice, basically, gravelly. Okay.
That's good.
What else do we got?
DPN10 says, hearing other people in the office joke around on personal calls during business hours drives me up a wall. Yes. Now, I don't know if he's talking about the fact that it's on their at work that they're having personal calls, because that's not the part that would drive me up a wall. When I hear people getting along, sometimes it drives me up a wall. Same with when I hear them argue. I like everything to just be straight down the middle, mediocre.
But he must have one of those cubicle offices,
Yeah.
like in the show The Office.
Yes, it sounds like
So-
that.
And people joking around on the calls. Yeah, that would paranoid the shit. I mean, people talking like you don't know what there's. You know, you're right there. You have to do your job. That's hard, man.
Don't you have that? Have you had that situation where you're in line somewhere or whatever, you hear people talking, and you know, and someone is cracking some jokes with the person they're with, and you know that they're aware that others are listening, so they're trying to be more funny, but they're not that funny? Like, it happens
I'm
in
not
elevators.
a hot girl, so no one's trying to impress
Okay.
me. See, if you're a hot girl, that's like a guy move. Like, hey, I'm gonna like talk to you, but I'm really hoping that she's gonna be
Right.
like, you know, what? Some guy, you know, said that Neil Armstrong joke. Sorry.
If it was a Neil Armstrong joke or any funny joke,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be okay. But it's like, I told you I was listening to you on Joe Rogan. He was saying that there's nothing worse than unfunny people trying to be funny. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, like, I wouldn't know. I feel like people are really inappropriate with their devices, like on planes.
Yeah.
Like on planes with the talking, and Doug Stanhope, who's a great guy. You should get him in here. He's my favorite comic. So you should get Doug in here. And we were both talking about how, like, people on the, like, you know, the turning off of their device is like such a big, oh, I won't be able to, you know, but I'll be flying. And they're talking so loud, and like you have to listen to it, and it's just inappropriate. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just jealous that I don't have someone to call while I'm on the plane. I don't know. See, I always see the other guy's side.
I don't have anyone I have to call right as the plane is landing either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll turn my phone on and see who contacted me, but I don't have to make that call that everyone else does.
Well, do you call before you get on the plane to your loved one and go like, honey, I love you, just in case something, bad happens?
No, but I always think I should.
You should do that.
Yeah.
To
Do
your
you?
boyfriend. You should go like, hey, you know what? I'm getting on the plane, but I just wanted to... And he should do that to you because, does he drive you to the airport and you hug him out?
He does.
See,
And he
as a
picks me up,
loner,
too.
that always creeps me out. Like when people are hugging like that. Like no one ever breaks up at the airport.
No.
That's the point because they're like afraid the plane's going to go down.
But
when it lands,
yeah.
that's when you see something like, I thought...
Right. There was
just wanna
something
drive
I
there and
wanted
tell
to
you.
say.
Yeah.
All right. HGUAT, I can't pronounce that, says, while shopping, if someone is standing in front of the things I want to get, I'll pretend to be looking for something else. Yes, I'll do that. Sometimes. Sometimes I'll say, excuse me, and I'll go past them, like at the grocery store. But sometimes I'll just wait and pretend I wasn't looking for that.
Wait, can you say it again? Because that was an interesting thing, but I'm trying to visualize what this guy's
While
problem is.
shopping, if someone is standing in front of the things I want to get, I'll
Right.
pretend to be looking for something else.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. Yeah. So I think that guy's very polite.
He is.
He's really polite. He's a gentleman, I guess you would say. But I think that's rude when you are standing in front of something and you're not buying it, and other people like yourself want to get in there and get like a friendly little top or some hoop earrings or something.
Yes, this probably happens to you at Forever 21.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
that's why I stopped
frustrating.
going to Hot Topic. I want to get a death metal T-shirt, and there's some fat kid hanging out there,
Right.
talking on the Four Loko. So I got like 3 references I keep bringing up. So anyway,
Colonel Siren, whenever someone asks me to say hello to someone on their behalf, I never do it because it feels awkward. Yes.
that Seinfeld used to do like a really long, cool bit about that whole and tell him this like you're the secretary or something.
Yeah.
I can't do it justice, but it's really funny. And tell him I said hey. Or would you mind passing along, like where you're kind of this messenger guy? That's annoying. So that's everyone, dude.
But you know what? All sorts of people will Facebook message me and be like, hey, I told Adam to tell you this. Did he tell you? Or more often, I gave Adam this. Did you ever get it? And I'm like, no.
Wow.
I did not get the whatever it was that he was supposed to give me.
Wow.
Granted, it's, something where I'm sure he's like, this is a sticker or whatever.
Sure.
But-
Exactly. Fandom.
Yeah.
But I would say that, I'm with this guy on everyone that, do your own shit, I mean,
Right.
honestly. Didn't we fight a war for this, right? Something? No?
For the right to not have to convey messages?
Yeah.
Yes.
Something like that. Either way, it is annoying because it's always somebody you would never think about wanting to connect with. And they're like, oh, and did you, just tell them I said, hey.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
okay.
feel like there's a subtext to the tell someone I said hey, which is really, I want to let you know that I know that person or something. I don't know.
I think it's a drawn-out goodbye. Like, I've given you a mission, now get on it. You've got to tell Gail I
Go
said
with
hello.
God, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like you're on a quest now.
right. However, if someone tells me that someone said hi, I'm usually like, oh, thanks. I guess.
Yeah, that's
it's
cool.
appreciated.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
That's a hard one.
I don't know.
This is a quagmire.
It,
this one.
ooh, that is a great word.
You like it?
I like quagmire. You don't hear it used very often.
I know, because they never made a board game out of it. Quagmire.
They should have.
They should have, yeah.
Like sorry.
There's no
Or
ending to it.
In Canada, sorry. I think that's how they say it.
Do they?
Yeah.
Aren't the Canadians great? I mean,
Sure.
first of all, they take all these great jokes about them, but they're just amazing. And there's only like 50 million of them. You know that, right?
I didn't know how many there
It's
were
like
of them.
there's only like 50 to like 75 million people. There's like more people in New York City.
I've only been to Canada once.
Really?
I went to Toronto.
You got to travel more.
I know.
You really do.
Well, no, yeah, you're right. I
You
have
really have to
traveled,
travel.
but not a lot lately.
What was the most exotic, erotic place you've ever been in your life?
Florence.
That must have been very romantic.
I was with my family, but it was.
It was? Did you guys, that's not the gondola city. That's the painting
No,
city.
no, but I did go to Venice.
How is that? It stinks, right? It smells.
You know what? It actually, I don't recall it smelling. But I don't really like boats and things.
You don't?
I get seasick or afraid. So the fact that we had to get onto a water taxi to get to Venice.
Oh, that's scary.
And it involved a lot of like hauling luggage onto the boat. And every time your luggage gets on the boat kind of rocks back and forth. And it just, the whole thing, I was
That's
not
scary.
super into it. Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever saw that. I think it's one of the Baldwin brothers made a movie about the sharks of Venice, where something happened and sharks were released into Venice and they were eating people, and it's really hard.
I suspect this would have been like Stephen or Billy.
Yeah, it's one of the D and
the
C
lesser
level
Baldwins.
Yeah, the other Baldwins, and they that's got to be the worst place because it's Venice, right?
Right.
Everybody's full of pasta and love.
Yeah.
You can't fight a
Right.
shark off.
No, there's
Yeah,
no.
but it's a
Richard
portent
Dreyfuss
to the
anywhere.
future because it was about climate change and the water rose. So
What's the most exotic, erotic place you've been?
I guess Brazil is probably the most exciting erotic place.
Yeah.
On this hemisphere. I've never been to Thailand or anything like that, but I'd say Brazil is a lot of beautiful men and women that are men, or the other way around, or men that are women.
Right.
A lot of beautiful transvestites, and also
Transsexuals.
just beautiful women. I mean, like the Latino dark, really hot, and I don't know. I've never been to Israel. I'd like to go there at some point, But
What's your type, Dave Attell?
I like Jews. I like Jewish women, but I like all women, But I would say that, I like the dark. I like the dark look. But I also like redheads, too. I like redheads. Do you like a redheaded man?
My
No.
man is redheaded.
Well, then you should that should be a tax write-off if you're banging a redheaded dude. I don't think that's even my joke.
I agree.
That can't be my joke. He's a true ginger, as they call it.
I think sometimes, it's kind of brownish, but I do think that he's got the gingery skin tone.
Oh.
Which,
well.
like the fair skin and the freckles and stuff. When
Do
he
you
was a kid, he was blonde. But I think I'm going to say, Gary, is he a ginger? Daniel?
No.
All right, I'm wrong.
This is the best thing, because if you ever have trouble with him, right? Like, let's say, I'm sure he's a great guy and he's good to you and all that.
Yeah.
But let's say, like, you feel threatened by him, you, run out into the sun where you can't go. Because you're like, once
Just
the
like
sun
Twilight.
comes down, I'm going to show you who's boss. And you're
Well-
like, get back in there, you kind of gingery-looking freak.
Yeah, he can't go in the sun suddenly. There's like a whole sunscreen application
Yes,
process
and they
a
should do
cap.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's the whole thing with the redhead, It's like, wow. And I also like the blonde Jew, the rare blonde Jew. Have you ever seen that?
I have.
Wow. I mean, on a
my
dude or
my grandmother actually.
with blue eyes?
Yeah, blonde and blue-eyed. And my grandfather was blonde and blue-eyed.
Wow, you guys really like German-proofed yourselves. That's excellent.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
But look at me. I mean, I couldn't
yeah, but you're
be
hot
darker.
though. You have that dark,
Thank you.
I don't know, Quinn Cummings kind of, Anne Frank-ism to you.
Thank you. I don't know Quinn Cummings. Is she
Quinn
a porn
Cummings
star?
was no. Quinn Cummings is.
Is that a ridiculous thing to ask?
She was on the show Family.
Oh.
Do you know this girl?
No.
She's like she's big in L.A. She like runs like charities and stuff like that. But she was a child actress, like really smart, like precocious child.
Okay.
And she grew up with this beautiful, hot woman. Like
I'm gonna have to look her up.
Who's the other girl? Like Punky Brewster. Like you're like
Soleil
a Punky Brewster.
Moonfry.
Yeah, she's super hot. She's a Jew.
And her brother Mino Pelus from that show.
Milo Paley. What
Mino
super the
Pelus.
day is that?
Do you remember that show? Was it The Voyagers? Or Gary wouldn't know, he's too young. I think it was The Voyagers.
I remember it. I think it's called Voyagers, not The Voyagers.
Okay.
What are you, 100 years old?
I sound like I am.
Okay.
Well, Dave Attell, this has been delightful. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me, and to all the listeners, thank you guys, especially the ones who like the retro porn. Check out the show.
Yeah, you can follow Dave at Old Porn.
Mm-hmm.
The show is Dave's Old Porn. The website is davesoldporn.com.
.com. Huh?
Show is Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern. New episodes of Season 2 are airing now.
You are a delight. Thank you, Allison.
And
Really,
you can
had a great
follow
time.
me on Twitter at Alison Rosen. You can follow Gary at G. Patrick Smith. And if you're going to buy something on Amazon, which you are because they have everything, Dave's Old Porn is on Showtime.
Yeah.
That's where you go for it, in case people are
So
wondering.
what were we talking about Amazon for? What was that about?
I was about to say something else. What I was going to say is if you're going to buy something...
Let me whore up my own whore here. Okay,
Oh,
ready?
please.
It's 11 o'clock Eastern on Showtime this week. When does this air?
I'm not sure yet. It could be a few weeks.
Okay. Well, anyway, 11 o'clock Eastern, or you can go to Showtime On Demand to watch Kathy Griffin, Joe Rogan, all the great shows that'll probably have aired by this time. But this is Season 2. If you enjoyed me and Adam on Season 1, you're going to love it because we're taking it to the next level and rock out with the old porn, dude.
When are you going to have me on, or do you have to have an extensive knowledge of porn?
Well, no, I love when we bring on the new fish, as we call it.
Oh, I'm a new fish.
Yeah, there you go. But you kind of like lost a lot of street cred with the I don't like any porn.
That's
you
not
gotta
what.
like
No, that's
some
not
porn.
what I said.
I mean, Emmanuel, that's pretty easy. Something,
Hey, I have definitely masturbated to porn.
You masturbate
Everyone masturbates.
with fingers or toys?
both.
Good.
Did I get the cred back?
You earned it back hardcore. I like that.
Thank you.
All right.
So
I'm
if you're-
pro woman masturbation at all times. Like,
I really truly think everyone
in
does
traffic.
masturbate.
well,
I mean, I guess some people who are really repressed don't, but
no,
I mean,
that's
come
not true.
on.
I think there are a lot of people who don't masturbate, and they're pretty cool with it, and it's always being thrown in their face. Why don't you masturbate? You should masturbate. It's so much better. And for these people, we should just leave them alone. Okay, it's the masturbators that we should really embrace. As a dude, masturbation, it's a given. But for women, we have to start programs, after school programs, I hope, for women to masturbate. I mean, really, I think that's a great thing for girls. Right? No?
Yeah.
I mean, and
well, yeah, definitely.
I'm not just saying that
because
because I own a sex toy factory in Guatemala, but I'm too dirty for your show. Your show is too high class. It's too high
no,
end for
it's
me.
not.
I think it is. This is like almost NPR type style shit.
Not anymore.
I know. I took
now
it
that
into the
you've
gutter.
denigrated it. Anyway, if you're
thanks for
going to
having me.
buy something on Amazon, which you are because they have everything, click through the banner on my website, AlisonRosen.com. Doesn't cost you anything extra and it helps the show. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for listening. I love you, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen show? We had a good time, but now we gotta go. Thank you for choosing the Alison Rosen show. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. That's right. That's right. Those good times don't seem to end. That's right. That's right. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen show? We had a good time, but now it's time to go. Hope to see you next time for the Alison Rosen show. Yeah! Yeah, Alison Rosen is your new best friend.
This is Corolla Digital.